The good thing about System 3 for VIN and OMI is that our work is completely random, using lots of different textiles, lots of different processes. Every day is different. And the good thing about System 3 is there are so many different ways to work with it. It all mixes together really well, so the different products work with each product. So if we're working with ink, for example, to experimentally dye a fabric or do something on the shoes, we can actually then mix that with different System 3 products, which works really, really well.
A lot of people would argue the fact that it has to be within a certain framework and a certain a box or application. The System 3 suite is not designed for that purpose. It's designed for you to intermix. It's designed for you to be really creative and loud. It's designed for you to have the flexibility to innovate and evolve.
Flip open a sketchbook, start drawing in 1 second. You don't have to put on a laptop, wait for it to power up, find the application and then do it digitally. We can just do it really quickly. And the immediacy of sketchbooks works for me because I can have a small one in my pocket, I can sketch really quickly, or we can do a big one in the studio, just flip it open and sketch, and then color it in. And if we have the colors ready, we can just show immediately what we want. So it's a lot quicker and a lot easier. And then it's good to have an actual physical record that we can store and file away of what we've been doing.
I think most creatives, our thoughts are quite jumbled up and quite erratic. And the sketchbook sort of reflects us that way. And I think when you see our sketchbooks, they are pretty messy. They're not very defined, but it doesn't matter. It's so as long as you translate and you understand that sketchbook.
You've got so many things to pick and mix, haven't you?
Yeah.
So it's great when we've got everything to choose from and infinite ways of mixing everything.
Yeah, I think a real good example would be, you know, when you look at a blank canvas and you lay down a whole bunch of blank canvas and you're thinking, what am I going to do with it? You know, traditionally, if you put a canvas in front of an artist, they're going to think that I'm going to paint it or I'm going to sketch it or I'm going to do something to it. But then, you know, if you really think about being fluid and being free with it, you know, using, say, for example, System 3 pouring medium, it creates a great Jackson Pollock effect.
Great.
You know, you can,
and it's instant.
It's instant,
like instant,
you know,
and quick,
and you don't necessarily have to do it in a controlled environment.
Yeah.
You could do it in a totally abstract environment.
We're using System 3 and Daler products to actually start to form a picture about what we want to do. And this follows through then into virtually everything we do, for example, for a fashion show. So we'll start to look at the shoes and the way we colour that. We'll start to actually paint the shoes. We'll start to then dye some of the clothes with System 3. We'll start to dye some of the fleece with System 3. And we'll start to actually work in a way where we see the whole colour of the show come together. And that filters through all the way to the backdrop as well, because the backdrop forms a great part of the show in terms of feel and colour, and when an audience comes to the actual show, they'll get that huge explosion of colour and feeling. I think flexibility is the future, and we've said that a lot to some companies and they just don't change. But with Daler, they're introducing flexibility into the ways that they're working, and I think there's lots more sustainable projects in the pipeline and we can really work together. And you can't change a big company overnight across the world, that doesn't happen. But you can start to introduce new systems and new ways of working that slowly change the way things are done. It's great.